Welcome to Inspiring Hope with Lois Hermann, a podcast that explores protection, healing, and personal empowerment through meaningful conversations and real-life stories. If you're sensitive, intuitive, or seeking clarity in this busy world, you've come to the right place.
This is the Global Podcast Network, where executives and professionals connect, share, and inspire. Stay tuned for the conversations that drive success.
Welcome back to the show. We are joined once again by Lois Hermann, our empowerment coach, metaphysical hypnotist, and founder of Lois Hermann and Associates and the Academy of Light. Yes, based out of beautiful New Hampshire, but working everywhere globally around the world. How are you doing today?
I am great. The sun is shining, which is wonderful, even though we just have a layer of fresh snow. The sun is shining, and that's always hope. I cling to hope.
Same here, right? Well, thank you for being here. Before we get started, I would love to just give us a little overview as to who you are and what we do. And then I know we're going to dive into some themes today, starting with the spiritual energy in just a moment.
So I actually began my career in the medical and corporate world, working in diagnostic ultrasound and systems design. So I actually have a very practical, analytical mind. I like to set that as a foundation because at the same time, I've always been very sensitive to energy, to emotions. And I moved into a house with a ghost that kind of expanded my awareness of the unseen world. And then over the past 33 years, that sensitivity and awareness has evolved into what I now call energy clearing and alignment. This is a compassionate work that's focused on protection first, then healing, then empowerment. And so much of what I do involves helping people clear unresolved spiritual or emotional interference so they can feel steady and clear again. I often think of it as a lighthouse. We don't fight storms, we stand steady and we clear the turbulence and let that light shine. So that's sort of my symbol, is the lighthouse being steady in the midst of life's storm.
Beautifully said. I love it. Thank you so much. Let's get started and talk a little bit about our spiritual energy and how we can protect it. Would you mind?
In my experience, consciousness doesn't simply disappear when people transition. Sometimes there are unresolved energies that linger in confusion, and they end up being attached to people who are familiar to them. And when that happens, sensitive people like you and I may feel it either emotionally, mentally, or energetically. We don't really know what's going on. However, these are energies, typically people who have passed, that are looking for the light, or they're looking for someone to feel safe with. So the work that we do is never about fear or fighting anything. It's about compassionately helping those energies to move on so that peace can return to them and to the living.
Well,
does that make sense?
I'm home and I'm working today, but I do have COVID, so I just had a long sneeze. I'm so sorry. That's why I sound so sick. But I'm okay.
I'm so sorry.
Don't be sorry. I'm
You're
looking
better.
Exactly. With all this conversation, I'm going to talk about the good. It'll happen. Don't worry. Thank you.
Good.
So I'm sorry, we were on spiritual energy, as you mentioned, but there's a lot of unresolved and unsettled that it affects us.
Over 3 decades of being in practice, I've consistently observed that unresolved spiritual energy can influence people's well-being. And when we approach them with protection and compassion, we help that energy move on, which brings profound relief for the living. Just like we can't see computer viruses, we know they exist because of the disruption they cause. So clearing the computer restores clarity, functionality, stability, all that. It's similar in the unseen spiritual energies. They create subtle disturbances that can't be explained, and yet once we recognize them and help them to transition, a sense of calm, certainty returns to the living. So I can tell you a little story about that. For instance, one woman had issues with compulsive eating. He knew what she was supposed to do, and yet something would come over her, and she would eat everything in sight. Well, she came to us as hypnotists, metaphysical energy workers, and what we discovered was this biker dude that was attached to her. She was in her 50s, right?
Really?
And she was in her 50s, and she was a little overweight. And this biker dude, young guy, said, I can make her eat anything I want her to. I'm like, well, wait a second. You need to leave her be. So we gently encouraged him to transition. And when she came out of trance, she remembered him.
Wow.
He had died when she was in high school, and she had attended his funeral.
No.
She was compassionate to him, so he hitched a ride with her. What was interesting is all of that compulsion was completely gone. Once we helped him to transition, her calm and peace of mind returned. It was fascinating.
I love hearing the stories. Thank you for sharing these. It's so positive and gives us this hope and inspiration. And it's great to talk about this stuff. And also, you mentioned compassionate nature of spirit. What does that mean?
Well, so many people do this ghost hunting, that sort of thing. And I consider that's like poking fun at the animals in a zoo.
Yeah.
These spirits are just lost souls. It's like finding a child lost in the woods. How can I help you? So we approach them with kindness and compassion, and we encourage them to tell us their story, and then we can help them, but we help them to find their place of peace in the light. We call it the light, some might call it heaven, whatever, but we help them to transition with a sense of compassion instead of coming from a place of be gone or burning sage and all of that. We come heart to heart with them. Tell us about what can we help you with.
Oh, thank you so much. If you are just tuning in, we want to remind everyone, Lois Hermann, you could be reached where specifically? Would you mind sharing? And we'll take that quick break.
Sure. It's loishermann.com, and Hermann has 2 N's.
Perfect. And you want to share a phone number or anything else?
Just the website is perfect, loishermann.com.
Beautiful.
There's so much there. It's really rich. We've got, shows. We have a lot there.
Lois Hermann joining us to talk more about her work here as a metaphysical hypnotist, founder of Lois Hermann and Associates and Academy of Life, also an empowerment coach. And we're going down that path today, talking about spiritual energy and, of course, our energies in general. And we're also going to talk about animals as well. Go ahead, Lois.
So when we work with our clients, most of our clients have pets, or they've got dogs, cats, and these beautiful animals that come to live with us are oftentimes, they take on a fairly serious role as protectors. They're emotional barometers, and they have a habit of deflecting unprocessed energy. Cats, for instance, are very spiritually aware. Dogs are more physically aware, and they're amazing creatures. And so we clear the pets as well as the humans because pets pick up on energy. So it's amazing how so many pets that have these unseen, undiagnosed maladies, when we clear the energy of the pet, those symptoms often are abated. And they have contractual arrangements with their humans. We can get into all that as well. But I can tell you another fun story about, I call it my Labrador story. Scott says, I love this story. When I was first learning about this energy clearing work 30-something years ago, we were practicing in a home with the gentlest dog, a Labrador. Anybody who has a Labrador knows. And all of a sudden, this dog had been shaking his head continuously, and the veterinarians couldn't find a cause, and they were really concerned because it had become very serious. And because of the work that we do, assisting unresolved souls, we've been practicing on one another, and we decided to tune into the dog's energy. And what we discovered was that there was a small unsettled spirit about this beautiful lab. It was the spirit of a Chihuahua that was agitated and stuck and just bouncing around the Labrador. And the dog was reacting to it. So we approached it in the same way we approach all of this work. Protection first, compassion always. And we invited the spirit to move into the light. Now, we work with the archangels and some of the saints, and we gently called the spirit of a beagle to come and help show this little Chihuahua the way into the light. Well, What was really interesting is after doing this, the next day, the owners of the dog contacted me and said, "Did you guys do something with the dog?" And I said, "Well, why do you ask?" They said the head shaking really stopped.
Wow.
Completely stopped. We were thrilled. For me, that experience reinforces something I see again and again. Unresolved spiritual energy can affect the living, not like horror movie stuff, but in subtle, unexplained disturbances. And once we help gently lift whatever that disturbance is to a place of healing, then the energies are helped, guided to a place of peace, and peace returns to the living. So it's fascinating.
Wow, it really is. I am a true believer in all this, and you have me glued. I hope our listeners are as well. Fascinating work here with animals, let alone human beings, and all that their energy and spirits can sense, and these energy shifts. Wow, what a story there. And I know you want to talk about spirituality and the importance of discernment and grounding, you said, too.
Absolutely. So many people who are sensitive are not trained for protection. And the key is we recognize that there's energy around us. And once we learn how to protect our energy, we can be spiritually sensitive using discernment. It keeps us from being very responsive to our environment. We're an observer. We don't respond to it. Once we are protected, we feel calm, focused, and more specific and discerning in our reactions to things around us. So it's important to learn boundaries and to have discernment, yes, but with discernment, because there's a lot of influencing energy that can be disturbing to our serenity. And so what we have to do is to keep our light steady, even when the world around us is turbulent, because that's going on right now for sure. There's so much turbulence around. And what we have to do is ground ourselves. And all of these beautiful spiritual people need to find something. I say for every negative we hear or see or read, we need to find 3 positives to counteract it in order to keep the energy positive. Otherwise, we go down this path of hopelessness, which is a drain on our physical, emotional, and spiritual energy.
Thank you so much. And also with the work you're doing and the people that you continue to share to help. As you mentioned before, this lighthouse metaphor, you brought it up in the beginning of the show. Could you share that again?
You know, I often tell people if something feels off, it usually is. We need to trust our inner wisdom, our inner light. And over the many years of doing this work, I've come to see this work like a lighthouse, because the lighthouse doesn't chase the storms away. It stands steady. The storms are all around us. When we learn how to stay steady in the midst of the storm and shine our light, then we're protected, we're steady, we can clear the storm so we can shine our light more clearly and be a beacon for others who are looking for the light. So that's what we focus on, is clearing our storms and shining hope for others who are in the midst of life's storms, because storms happen, and we can shine hope and light and joy.
Oh, wow. Absolutely. And, you know, with the work that you do and continue to do, also, you're an author. I have to remind everyone, if they don't know all about you, there's still so much to tell. We still have 5 more minutes to discuss. We want to help clear the storm and help other people shine their light.
We have the Academy of Light, which is our training academy. And it starts with the Lightworker Empowerment Training that I encourage every lightworker to take. And a lightworker is just somebody who is on a spiritual path. They have a sense of, I know I'm on a mission. I wish I knew what that mission was. So in the Lightworker training, we help people to teach them how to stay protected, to clear their energy so that they can clearly discern what their mission, their purpose, their path is. Our goal is to help the light workers, because we need all hands on deck right now. We need people to be doing what they love to do, whether it's making muffins or grooming dogs. It doesn't matter. Do what you love to do, because when you're doing what you love to do, you're in a place of joy, and therefore your energy shifts and you're affecting others around you with that positive energy.
Beautifully said. And, for people out there who may be struggling today, let's give them some prayer, some positive thoughts, right? Because a lot of us go through so much, and you may be having a bad day, but in better words, what would you say to someone out there?
We started this back when COVID first started. A group of us started what we call 8 at 8. We pray for either 8 minutes or 8 people or 8 things at 8 o'clock, wherever you are. And therefore, we're sending a ripple of positive energy around the world. So whether it's 8 things you're grateful for, 8 people in your life, spend 8 minutes or just 8 thoughts to shift your energy on a regular basis. Get in the habit of finding things to be grateful for.
Yeah, I always say that. I so believe in that. And the positive reinforcements and manifestations can go a long way. I wake up, I make my kids look in the mirror. The little one does it better than the older one, but I love myself. I'm beautiful today. I'm going to have a great day. And they laugh, but I think it's going to help.
It does help. And they laugh because laughter is a wonderful form of positive energy, right? Especially a child's laughter.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, there's nothing better than a child's laughter.
I agree. Really. Thank you so much for inspiring and enlightening us. And how did you want to leave off for today's show?
Well, I'd like to tell people to look up, stay positive, and be the light in someone's day, because when we are bringing light to someone else, that light shines, glows, and it magnifies. So be the light today. Find someone to share a compliment, a smile, something positive with. And if that's all you can do, that's good enough.
Beautiful. All right, Lois, how can we reach you?
LoisHermann.com. There's so much there. Go there, download the Sacred Space exercise if you wish. There's so many of them. We have lots of versions. It's all there for you to be able to help you to shine your light.
Beautiful. And next time you mentioned we're going to have a guest. What type of guest are you going to be bringing on?
Well, we are supposed to have a 1-hour show coming up, and I've got one of my associates coming on with me who is a co-navigator, and we're going to talk about the energy clearing and alignment program that he got involved with and that we offer to people who are ready. It's a wonderful program. You have to be ready for it, though, because it's all about taking responsibility for your energy.
All right.
We're going to talk more about that.
Have a fantastic day. And to all of our listeners, stay tuned. We'll be right back with more and looking forward to next week. Lois, thanks again.
Thank you so much. And I hope you feel better, Jill.
I appreciate that. Thank you, really.
If something we shared resonates with you, I invite you to stay connected. Follow the show, share it with someone who would benefit, and explore more at loishermann.com. Together we clear the storms and shine the light of hope. Until next time, look up, stay positive, and be the light in someone's day.